Hola, mi gente. How's everyone doing today? This is Roberto Ruiz, a.k.a. Don Sicario. Welcome back to another episode of Don Yankee con el Body, brought to you by NYY News. Folks, we got a special episode today. We have some guests. That's right, we got some guests on. I got my guy, NYY News, Ruben, joining the channel. Ruben, what's good?
What's good, bro? Happy to join you here, bro.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And of course, we got El Capitán, La Mente Maestra, Felix, the brain of the NYY News. What's good?
Exactly. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Chilling.
Chilling here, ready to talk some Yankees, man.
Don't Yankees, don't get bored.
Yeah. The trio is back, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Yankees right now. We're in a weird state right now, and a lot of fans, Yankees Twitter right now is a little bit feisty, no? Fans are pretty mad.
They're always kind of weird over there. Yankees Twitter sometimes is very toxic and stuff like that.
It's very toxic.
Heck, yeah, they can definitely be, and especially the ones that tend to seem to believe everything the front office says.
Listen, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I like the toxicity of it all because when everything's going right, it gets too boring.
So, be like, "Hey, bochinche," right?
Hey, bochinche. That's what I'll be sweet. Whenever I share the videos, it's like, come join the bochinche. Let's get some gossip going.
Twitter, there's always new faces, and there's always clicks and stuff like that. And the veterans that stay on Twitter, they recruit these people, and then you get a whole bunch of clicks going on back and forth and stuff like that. But basically, yeah.
Definitely, it's crazy, man.
So as of recently, right now, like one of the issues I want to talk about real quick with this Yankees team, I have a big issue, and I mean a big issue with how when Aaron Judge is out, why does this team just completely fall out? Why does it? I mean, do we blame Brian Cashman for the construction? Obviamente, no? Like,
yeah, that's one. That's one for sure, man.
I think that's the biggest one.
I think it starts from the top, you know what I mean? Like, and not so much like on Hal, because Hal's doing his thing when it comes to the money, but Cash though, like it's just philosophies, man. Like for a guy that has so many people in his ears, it's like, how can you forget the simple stuff of like, how about let's make sure we get hits.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And getting the right players, we got a hitting coach that he said, oh yeah, this is the next big thing, and he says, I don't care about where we rank, I just want to win ball games. And it's like, well, isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of scoring runs?
Yeah, the philosophy
what the problem is with the Yankees when it comes to Judge is like, in the NBA you have your superstars. And sometimes players on that team get lazy because they know, LeBron James is going to score this, so-and-so. And then they just get used to it. This is the same thing that's happening to the Yankees. Aaron Judge goes to the IL. They were used to Aaron Judge bailing them out, and they just carries on when he's not there. And that's what we're seeing. They got to snap out of that. There's a whole bunch of players who pay millions of dollars, and they need to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I mean, especially for the amount of money that this team is built on, right? It's what 290 something million, close to 300 mil. That's crazy for the team to just fall apart the way it does when Aaron Judge is out. Like, it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't, and it's crazy because if you look at it, it's like between like the players that we have, you look at the names and you're like, damn, we got some names, bro.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, they haven't been really living up to their
expectations.
Their expectations.
The Yankees have has-beens. They have the names, but they're has-beens.
Exactly. Because true. If you look at this lineup, you're thinking, damn, this lineup at 2016, 2015 would have been sick.
Yeah, that's right. Man, we'd have Blue Jays Josh Donaldson, no? That's when he was the MVP around that time.
Yeah, exactly. Like you put 2015 Donaldson, you know, put 2019 DJ LeMahieu and 2019 Gleyber.
And that's one of the problems I think that they have. They're so stuck on the numbers. Brian Cashman and them damn nerds, they want to base everything off the numbers. They don't want to, and it's kind of like it's backfiring on them, no? Like, and they preach about having such a good system, having such a good process going, but at the end of the day, the reason why everything falls apart is because a lot of these players, they're washed. A lot of them are washed up, if we're gonna be honest.
And Stanton messes it up too.
Man, Stanton, I love Stanton, but that dude is so streaky. He's a little too streaky for my liking, man. And
I don't mind.
He's never lived up to the trade. Only sometimes in the playoffs, but where has Stanton performed in the regular season?
I don't mind the streakiness. It's just that he's not on the field enough to even justify the streakiness. You know what I mean? Because like when he's good, and over a full season. I mean, we saw in 2021 that when he has a full season, he's good. Oh, you know, and the streakiness like tends to even out. Same thing in 2018. He was fully healthy that year, and he played half of the games in the field, and he was good. But it's like his legs just went shot, bro. And it's like I'm thinking like, and it's so frustrating because like a lot of times people say that he can't play the outfield, but
why?
If you look, but if you look at it, I think a lot of times, like his leg injuries, if we look at it, most of them come when he's like staring. You know the Donaldson thing where he hits a home run, and it's not a home run, and he stares at it, and then he's rushing to second base, and he gets thrown out. Well, that happens a lot to Stanton too, but nobody says anything. And Stanton used to be a guy that would hit you like 35 doubles every year, and now he's hitting you less than 10. Well, no, because like he stares at the ball too much now. Like he's like he admires the ball, and then it's like, oh snap, I gotta run to second base, and that's what happened this last time. And that last time, he's like, oh snap, I gotta run now, and that sudden burst of sprint, is what causes his hamstring to go like crap.
Yeah, you're right. Man, listen, and I love Giancarlo Stanton.
You see the thing about Stanton is you see how Hicks got the treatment from the Yankees fans. Oh my God, this guy's trash or whatever. And most players that do trash get the bad treatment from the Yankees fans. Stanton has been fortunate that every time he goes into a slump or whatever, he snaps out of it. It's not like you said, he's streaky. He's been fortunate enough not to have a streak where the Yankees fans are like, "Oh my God, trade this guy!" Like that. That's how Stanton has been lucky on the Yankees. Because any other player, they would have fell into that, like a Hicks or whatever. Stanton always does that for some reason.
I mean, to see.
Go ahead, Baba.
No, you go ahead, Baba.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like it's like the people start complaining about IKF when I'm like he's like the bench piece. Like you know what I mean? Like. Like instead of like complaining at him, let's complain at the middle of the order bats. They're the big guys that are not really performing right now.
Word.
Yeah. And my thing right is like he's been lucky enough where he's a streaky player. Right when the Yankees fans are about to get at him, like trade this guy, everybody's about to turn
he
turns it around. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that completely. But my thing is like I think fans need to be more like a game to game type of thing with him. Because, like, whenever he pulls that crap about admiring a ball and it ends up being a long-ass single, bro, like, that shit drives me nuts because we're station to station. Like, we ain't moving.
Yeah. And he's not fast enough to be doing that.
It's like, bro, like, you know you can't go and sprint because you're going to pull a hammy. So how about you just jog out of the box right away instead of, like, staring at it, thinking you're pimping this home run, and then you're like, oh shit, it's a long ass single, and I almost pulled the hand.
Yeah, that's annoying, especially when Josh Donaldson does it.
Yeah, so everyone gets on Donaldson, but they don't do it to Stanton, and Stanton's done it quite a bit.
Donaldson has been very close to being a DFA.
Yes, I hope they do it, man. I mean, we've been talking about that for a minute already. Like, listen, he's gonna come up. And y'all seen, I've been tweeting lately. I've kind of had a change of heart, hoping that the positivity actually works out. Like, hopefully this guy could come in and do, and because if he can hit anything close to what he did with Minnesota, all Yankee fans will take it. We'll accept it. Anything. But he's come up, and of course they've been only home runs, but man, and his defense is the only thing that's kind of saving him. But let's be honest. There's baby bombers right now in the minors that will come up and play just as well as he does at third base. And we all know who we're talking about.
Yeah, Peraza gotta be up, bro. Peraza should be the third baseman right now. I mean, there's an argument to be said that, I mean, if Gleyber ends up getting traded somehow, I mean, you could put Volpe as second and Peraza as short.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna put Volpe in second though. I don't know. I don't think
I agree with you. I don't think they will, but they should.
Oh, of course. No, man, listen, the Yankees are not they're not into doing what they should do. Like, everything they're doing, they're not into that. They don't like that. They like to be the smartest.
They'll be like, with the glasses and be like, according to my calculations, I think he's going to bring in this much money to lose that shortstop.
Listen, I love the numbers because, in baseball, they actually work if you use them correctly. But when the organization is basing everything off of these numbers, and it shows, because look at the construction of this team. It seems like when you play MLB The Show, and you're starting what is it called, when you have your team online, and you just you're putting all these players in these positions because they're big names, and all of them say out of position. That's what they're doing. They're looking at the numbers. They're like, oh, this is a good guy. Let's just place him here. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, and that doesn't make any sense.
So the problem with the Yankees is back in the day, back in the early 90s, whatever, when the internet wasn't around, they would do something about the Yankees not winning. Understand what I'm saying? But now with social media, the internet, they're just looking to sell things. They're just looking to make a profit. They don't care about if the Yankees could win the World Series. They just want to reach a number. Okay, we sold this much amount. We're doing good. That's all they care about.
I hate to be that guy, but
because it's easier now with internet. But it's easier now to put asses into the seats. Like if the Yankees weren't winning anything back in the when the internet wasn't around, they would clean house.
Yeah, no, you're right. If George was around, man, and I hate to say that, I hate to be that guy. If George was around, if the boss was still here. But let's be honest, if he was here, Boone wouldn't be here. Cashman wouldn't be here. How wouldn't be nowhere near this team? Let's be honest. But at the end of the day, though, I'm going to try to stay positive because you never know. That's baseball, Susan, right? Like, you never know what could happen. They could heat up. But I just hate the fact that when Aaron Judge goes down, this team turns to, the Cinderella story. Everything turns, the carriage turns back into a pumpkin. Like, it's like what? They don't need Aaron Judge to be in the lineup every day to feel confident. It's like, what is he feeding them in them water bottles and that Gatorade? Aaron just got that.
That's what Stanton was for. You know what I mean? Like Stanton was supposed to be like a second Judge, and that's the part that's frustrating is that we got Stanton and being sat every other game, and then you got like. And that's another thing too. Is like they have too many. They have too many infielders, man. At a certain point, you can't please everyone. You can't play everyone, and you can't keep sitting people. Like Boone has this ability, and in a sense, it feels like a disability, really, where the guy just ends up like, oh, this guy got 2 hits. All right, cool.
We're gonna sit him
in the next game.
I hate that, yo.
But in the day, like I said, we're in the future now, and all it takes is somebody sitting on the computer and sending out a mailing list. Hey, come to the Yankees game, buy the seats and stuff like that. This is why the front office really doesn't care, because at the end of the day, they're making their quota and filling up the seats, making profit. Understand what I'm saying? That's why I bring up the early 90s. Early 90s, you couldn't pull something like that. The way you pull it is George Steinbrenner fires a whole bunch of people, newspapers pick it up. And that's how they re-engage the fan base. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. Their reach is so powerful now that all they have to do is just send an email, and they'll put asses into the seats and make a profit. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you would think.
If you look at it, it's the Yes Network. Like they have their own network. So like you got these kids eating it up nowadays, where they just believe everything that the Yankees say.
Yeah, but you would think with social media, with the technology nowadays, you would, especially the way Yankee fans are. The Yankee fans, the fan base is one of the strongest fan bases in baseball, and that's no cap. People could say all they want. I always hit them with you hate us because you ain't us. But you would think with social media, it would be the opposite because they're hearing it from all angles, and with the baseball media getting at them, with the fans getting at them, you would think this would be the push.
But the thing you have to understand is the Yankees are a tourist attraction. They're basically
that's true.
an attraction for tourists as well. So the Yankees have mastered this. They have so many ways and opportunities to sell these tickets, freaking sell chicken tenders or whatever the hell they sell, etc.
Shit's a banging though.
Oh snap! Oh my God, we have the one and only Adam King on the line. Adam King, you are muted. Please unmute yourself so the angels from above can sing a hymn for us and give us good luck.
Doing good, guys.
What's up, Adam?
Oh snap!
What's up?
Legend himself.
Yeah, but man, I mean,
so we got to recap what we've been talking about with Adam King. Adam King, we've been talking about since it's your show, Don Cigario. You want to give him an update?
So we basically talking about how this team basically falls apart whenever Aaron Judge is on the DL. I mean, on the DL on the IL. Excuse me. And whenever they don't have Aaron Judge in the lineup, the team just falls apart, and it shouldn't be that way, especially with the amount of money put into this roster. So we're kind of just discussing that right now.
Also, the fact these guys are professionals. You think they know how to hit no matter who's in the lineup.
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I think it's crazy. Like, the Yankees organization right now, Brian Cashman, like, and it's true. It's all they preach about the process. Nobody really knows what the process is. It seems like from our angle, it just kind of shows like the Yankee fans are going to show up regardless. Kind of like how Felix was saying, like back in the days, heads would have been fired, like. But nowadays, it's all about the quota, right? You're filling up the seats. Yeah. They're getting all this money. I mean, how much are they bringing in at the end of the year? They're in the billions.
People didn't realize George's tactics was to re-engage the fan base. He had to make noise. He had to fire people so newspapers could pick it up. Because back then there wasn't the internet. So nowadays they don't have to do that. They have a freaking marketing campaign. People in offices sending mass emails. The Yankees are a tourist attraction. And they're going to make the money regardless. So this is why when the fans complain, "Oh, this player's trash," they don't really care because they're still making profit, and they're probably making more profit than they expected.
And the thing is, like, at a certain point, wouldn't they want to, like, because they keep talking about process, but your process is not getting the results. Like,
you know what I think the process is. This is my now. Put your tinfoil hats on with me. everybody listening right now, put on your tinfoil hats just for a few seconds. Hal Steinbrenner gave him a 4-year extension, right? The baby bombers right now are so close. In the next 4 years, let's be honest, they're gonna probably all be up. Dominguez is gonna be up. Spencer Jones might be up. Like, I feel like he's giving Brian Cashman one last chance. Like, all right, we're so close. You're so close, right? You're all the prospects that you've been getting, and like they're all so close to coming up that he's like, all right, you got 4 years. Let's see what you can do. I guarantee you, in the next 4 years, if this shit doesn't work out, Brian Cashman is not gonna get an extension. We're gonna get some news of Brian Cashman's decided to step down, or he's moving to so-and-so area in Nebraska. Like, I don't think after these 4 years, he's not going to be here. And y'all could book that. Everybody listen, y'all could book that. If he's still here after 4 years, fry me. I could take it. I could take a hit. But I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's why Hal's kind of being patient with him, because the prospects are so damn close to coming up.
They already started that
transition. Adam, you want to answer that, Adam?
They already started that transition with Cashman, by the way, by making him president of baseball operations as well as GM. So all I have to do is yank GM and another GM there.
Look at that. Wow. They need to bring Derek Jeter in. I know that sounds crazy, but bring Derek Jeter. Look at what he did with the Marlins. That team is pretty good.
Derek Jeter refused. He flat out said, "No, I don't want a front office position."
Oh, he refused?
Yes, that was big news. He flat out said, "No, I'm not going front office anywhere." He wants to be ownership, not front office.
Well, remember,
Derek Jeter, man, such a winner.
well, and remember, it's not like him. He would want to work under Cash.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
Maybe if Cashman is eventually let go, who knows? Maybe Hal Steinbrenner could work something out with Derek Jeter, because I guarantee you, Derek Jeter goes into that organization, everything is changing. Everything is gonna change, and I put money on that, bro. I bet in at least a 4-year span they'll touch closer than what they have recently to the World Series.
Yeah.
Shoot, I think if that's the case, man, I would love to see where, like, if Jeter does end up somehow end up becoming the GM, bring in Don Mattingly as a manager.
Oh man,
that'd be interesting.
I mean,
that'd be interesting.
You think it'll be Don Mattingly? Because he did bring him to Miami, right? Wasn't he in Miami?
Yeah, he was already in Miami at that time. He was already there, and then when they sold, he kept him there. But the reason why I say Mattingly is because Mattingly, even with the Marlins that didn't have any offense, didn't have any talent, he managed them pretty well, and he knows when to allow starters to go deep. You know, not like Boone that likes to take out his ace with 95 pitches on the 6.
Yo, Boone. Ay, señor.
Like, Boone will buffoon. You know, he will do his thing.
Bubbles. Like my guy Eric on Twitter, Bubbles.
Yankees are going to have to be quick if they really want Jeter on board, because Jeter will take any money. He'll take the most money offered to him. Come on, let's use common sense. Baseball players, after they retire, they have to continuously, especially if you were close to a billionaire like Jeter, you have to maintain that source of income. So any team, I can see Jeter going to any team if the offer is right.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look at Mattingly. Look at Jeter. Like, they went to the Marlins. Mattingly went to the Dodgers.
Yeah. I mean, talks.
And at this point, like, if we could really get a real manager in there, because I look at Texas right now, right? And I love what they're doing with
Texas is looking good, man. Texas is looking good.
And the thing is, like, Bochy, he goes and he says, like, hey, you're our ace. You know, go ahead and do your thing there. Go, 110 pitches, and then we'll take you out. You know, like, and you need more of that. I mean, like, how many times have we seen Severino, like, mean mug freaking Boone for, like, saying, what the hell, you're gonna take me out now? Like,
trying to play it too safe though, especially
Herman in the 9th inning cost the Yankees a win, taking Herman out in the 9th inning at 88 pitches.
Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
Like that's so many times I'm like, bro, like, that's when you go with your pitcher. You they need to understand. Like, I understand that bullpen arms are better than ever before, but now you need to also realize they're in the bullpen for a reason. They can't. They're not consistent enough. And when you're
we're taxing the bullpen heavy right now.
We always do. I mean, like, like I remember 2019, we went against the Astros in the ALCS that year, and the issue that year was that he kept going to the bullpen every freaking game, starting like the 5th inning, 6th inning. Yeah, like, he didn't and we had Tanaka rolling, and he was like, nope, the 3rd time around is coming up. I'm gonna take him out.
Boone was shook. That's what it was. He was shook. Boone is shook of the Astros.
And my thing is, like, how are you gonna throw your bullpen out in a 7-game series like that, knowing that they say, hey, you can't face a lineup 3 times over? Well, guess what? They saw this lineup like 4 times, 5 times over.
Now, like, the question is, does Boone really have control of all of this?
At this point, yes, I would say he is in lockstep with them. Like, I don't think there's a differentiation with it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Adam King has the answer to that. Adam King, what do you think about that? Is it rigged?
It is very much, and according to my dad's cousin who works directly for Cashman, it is Randy Levine and Hal Steinbrenner creating the lineup and managing everything. It's above Cashman's head.
Really? Yo, you know what's funny? Not too long ago, I was talking about Hal Steinbrenner. Like, yo, is it time for us to kind of turn our attention away from Brian Cashman and kind of go to the head of the house? Like, why is it? Because we can sit here and bash Cashman all day, and we could bash Boone all day, but at the end of the day, how's the damn owner? How is he so nonchalant about all of this? So So, like, do we sit here and kind of like turn our heat towards Hal Steinbrenner? They're like, bro, are you okay with all of this? Are you aware of it, or you just not? Are you just not really paying attention? Like, are you green lighting everything? Like, is he really dead serious involved, and he's okaying all of this, and it's actually his ideas, or is he just like, I believe what you guys say? All the nerds bring him the numbers, and he believes it, and he's like, okay, cool. I gotta go head to another meeting right now about some whatever other investments he has. So, at the end of the day, who are we blaming?
I think the with Hal now, like like their whole thing is the bottom line, right? The money and everything. But going back to what you were saying earlier, I do think that the way we're able to start making noise with social media now and how it's actually impacting the influence on fans and the way they booed him. I think we've heard already this year, like he's been way more vocal this year.
Yep.
And going into podcasts and everything. So I think he's starting to like say, hey, we're still making money, but at a certain point we're gonna lose some of this fame.
Yeah, this income.
If we don't actually do something. So that's where you're seeing that he's including Judge in the conversations and Cole, because he mentioned that in that podcast with Joel Sherman.
Yeah.
So I think at a certain point, like he's starting to realize I can't keep trusting Cashman on everything, even though we grew up together, because that's the comfort zone that he has with Cashman. They grew up together. They're like around the same age.
And the other thing is that Hal has been nixing moves like crazy over the last 8 years. He blocked Harper. He blocked Machado. He blocked Patrick Corbin. He blocked a whole bunch of moves. Hal himself did that. See,
what?
Wait, but then my question is, the Harper move, was that blocked due to like luxury tax, or was that blocked just because Cashman told them that we shouldn't get him?
Straight up luxury tax. Hal did not let go of the second threshold. That's all it was.
If that's the case, that's ridiculous, because
it was
like Harper right now in this lineup would have been perfect in this lineup, and he was willing to play first base.
Yeah, but didn't they trade for Stanton right after that when
No, it was before.
On Harper?
It was before. That's why they said that they couldn't go after Harper, because they already had Stanton. That was the excuse at that time.
There was still $60 million luxury tax, though. They still had plenty of money to play with.
They said we didn't have space in the outfield. You remember that? They said they didn't have a spot for Harper.
He said,
Harper has been the best fit.
And Harper even said, "I'll play first base. Like, I'm good."
Yeah, remember he shaved his beard and everything.
Yeah. He's look at him now. He's playing first base for the Phillies right now.
Exactly.
Wow,
he's
look at that.
First base for the Phillies right now. So it's like, if you think about it, like he's probably gonna like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first baseman from here on out for the next few years, because I don't think Rhys Hoskins is coming back.
No. He blew his knee.
Harper was such a good fit for this damn team. Like, if you see him, he has everything that we need. He has the grittiness. He has a lefty bat. I mean, if we would have had Bryce Harper instead of Stanton, and listen, I love Giancarlo Stanton. You know what I'm saying? Big G, I love Stanton, but let's be real. If we would have had Bryce Harper, we would have touched that World Series at least once within that time frame.
Yep, he would have shelled the Astros both times.
Hell yeah, agreed.
He would have given Judge that protection, bro. Because right now they don't pitch to Judge in the playoffs, man.
Nope,
no, they don't. No, they'll walk. When he started heating up, I forgot who we were going against. They walked him. What team was that?
I think it was Cleveland or something like that, right?
Yeah, they walked him, and they'll do that in the playoffs. And that's why I don't understand.
They throw him garbage pitches, so he starts trying to expand the zone in the playoffs too, because he's trying to like do something, but it's like they're not giving him pitches to hit, man.
You see how the Yankees? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It was a little muffled.
So the question is, can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question has to be: you see the quality of players during the era of Harper, Machado, I even include Judge, Stanton. We're not seeing those types of players coming up. Can you guys name me players that you could see becoming Harper? Because I really don't see that. I really don't see these young guys coming up that can match those types of players.
Hector Jones and what's his name? Jason Mingus have the best chance, but outside them, I'm not seeing much.
Exactly. Like if you were going to sign players, that time frame should have been it, because I don't see.
Even Emmanuel
players
Machado
like them coming up. I don't really see that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
loving what I'm seeing from these new kids that are coming out of Dominican Republic, the ones that are the Cruz, O'Neal Cruz, and then the one from the Reds. I mean, these kids are giants, and they can hit and they can run. I mean, the Dominican Republic got this new wave of youth that is wild.
There are like 100 of them in the minor leagues as well.
For real, it's like they're like
think-
6'5", 6'6", and they run like a gazelle,
Yeah.
bro.
I think what Felix is saying, we might see one of them coming out of this new wave of Dominican kids coming up, because I mean, if you watch them, the way they play, they're aggressive. They have swag, which that's what baseball's coming to. A lot of these kids, they have that swag that a lot of the youngsters like to watch. So if you see them,
but you understand what I'm saying? Like the quality of players.
Yeah, no,
not
you're
the
right.
same anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't think of all the players from the top of my head that will be like, oh my god, this is the second coming of freaking, I don't know, Barry Bonds or something like that.
Well, and that's that's the thing with Dominguez. Dominguez was like, touted to be like the next Trout and all this stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
And looking at his performance, like he hasn't really performed to that. But he does have a good eye now. Like his plate discipline is much better now. But my worry is that this year he got off to a slow start with actually getting hits. But at a certain point, like the Yankees need to make sure that they're actually getting results, because the last few years they were actually hitting for average. Like you got these guys actually making contact. This year there's a lot of low batting averages on the minor league too.
At what point do they fire Dylan Lawson?
Yeah, and man, like how are you gonna tell me that Volpe had to dissect his own swing over chicken parmesan?
That's
it's crazy. Not the first time we heard that. We heard it twice last year, the year before. All of Lawson's tenure, we're hearing a player fixing themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you got freaking what's his name, Aaron Judge talking to Mookie, saying that he has his own hitting guy, and he doesn't really listen to anyone on the Yankees.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. That's wild.
Like, and my thing, and that to me makes me think, then what is Lawson there for? What is he there for? To tell you, hey, you hit 100 miles an hour, good job.
And he has an asshole attitude about it too. With his recent quotes,
Yeah, I don't care about where we rank. I just want to win ball games. And I'm like, well, that's the point, bud. Like, you need to rank in the top to actually win.
I've never seen a team like the Yankees are doing this year, hitting 10 times more ground balls than the other team in baseball. That is an issue.
Yeah, it's like if you look at it, it's like, okay, we're gonna, I don't care where we rank, and then all of a sudden, DJ becomes a strikeout prone, and then you got freaking Volpe not being able to hit, having to dissect the swing over dinner, and then you got freaking what's his name, Cabrera. All of a sudden now he can't hit, and he has no tips for Cabrera to like say, hey, go do this and what to fix your swing. Nothing. Kevin Long back then when we had Granderson, he said, hey, we're going to sit you for like 4 games in a row. We're going to go into the batting cages, and I'm going to have you do these drills. You don't hear any of that. You don't hear anything.
It takes so long
the Yankees in the catcher, the Yankees in the catcher position are weak. Let's be honest there. Very offensively and normalized.
They should bring Austin Wells up. He'd be better than the other two.
Yeah, I mean, like, and that's the thing too. Like, you got some players that are just we know that they're not offensive threats like that. But my thing is, where's the hitting coach to bring the consistency? Because the hitting coach, you would think that he'll say, "Hey, go do this. You'll hit the ball more consistently." No, it's like, you didn't have the right launch angle, and it's like, dude, if you give that guy that kind of launch angle, he's gonna hit it to the warning track. He doesn't have that kind of power. How about you lower his launch angle, because this guy and this other guy needs to go ahead and hit more line drives.
Yeah.
We don't need guys to always be hitting home runs.
I wonder if he's able to work freely on what he feels. Do they have like a system set up for him? Like, this is what you're going to work on them with. You're going to work with them on this, because look how long it took them to get rid of Larry. Right?
Well, his whole philosophy is hit strikes hard and hit early.
Yep.
Back in the day, it was like, take pitches whenever they're not in the zone. and make sure you're making contact. Like it's just like we're like going the opposite route, and we're not getting on base anymore.
And it's funny to me, every time Paul O'Neill's in the booth, he's talking about what the players are doing wrong. Why can't Lawson see that? Why is he Paul O'Neill the hitting coach when he can see what they're doing wrong and fix it and win a bat?
Is it like
the fans are seeing it? Even the fans are seeing it. They even
yeah, I
tweeted
mean,
about it.
you
I
got
don't
you got
understand
you
how
got
the Yankees
Twitter.
see it.
You got Twitter becoming this dissecting of players, and they're telling you what's wrong. They're saying, "Hey, Severino's not getting the same extension, and he's not leaning on his back leg like he used to," and all this other stuff. Like, I sent that tweet to from Johnny Lasagna to Pete on his morning show, right? And I'm like thinking, how is it that us, the fans, we can see this? Where's the coaches for that? The coaches should be seeing it instantly.
Should be easier to see from the dugout.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
they got all these high-end cameras that you would think they would say, "Hey, the overlay doesn't match on this one. You need to lift your leg a little bit more, or get back, or whatever." You know, like if you have this fancy tablet that you're looking at, and you're like, "Oh yeah, let me look at the iPad," and oh yeah, my swing looks nice. Okay, but what about your swing? Is it your hands? Is it your legs? Is it your face? Is it your head? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what in the swing is working?
Now here's a question. Here's a question for you guys, Adam. I got a question for you. Right now, as the team is, as of our information that we're getting from all these check marks and the knowledge that we have of players returning, what is your take on how do you feel about this team right now? Going into like, what are the chances we have in the playoffs? How do you feel right now about them?
I think they're going to be another class to get the ALCS and get smoked team.
And the thing is, I don't think it's going to be the Astros this time. That's what I'm afraid of.
It won't be
I'm
the
afraid
Rangers.
it'll be another team.
Rangers. The Yankees will not control the Rangers offense.
Yeah, I don't. Man, that Rangers team is pretty stacked. There's going to be some teams coming, but the thing is, the monster's coming up after the second half. That's the monster. That's where the big boys have to pull their pants up. Let's see if these teams can actually keep it up. Let's see if the Rays
the Rangers are going to keep it up as the Rangers are in Texas. The weather there is going to be insane once summer comes along, and these guys, basically their whole roster. How many seasons have them players been on that team? Most of them are new, right?
Yeah, I mean
they're not used to that weather.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like a mixture of young like rookies and like veterans.
How's their depth? Because I don't really know much
So
about
that's where the real test is. The real test is in July, August. When
they're really deep.
Crazy.
The Rangers are deep.
Yeah, they're deep, bro. Like they got. I'm gonna just throw out some names here. So they got Corey Seager at short, right? You got Josh Jung at third base, who's like 25 years old, and looks like he's gonna be the rookie of the year.
Uh-huh.
You got Marcus Semien at second base. You got
he's an MVP candidate, no? MVP candidate.
And you got Ezekiel Duran, who they got from us for Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
For Joey Gallo, they got Ezekiel Duran, bro. The moment I knew we gave up Ezekiel Duran, I just by looking at his stats and looking at his face, and just like I was like, oh shit, this guy's a ball player. Like I knew it right off the bat, and then to see this guy hitting 293 with a 341 on base, and he's like 3 points shy of 500 slugging, bro. And this guy now is playing short, second, third, left field. Like they're putting him basically every day in the lineup now.
On pace by 28 home runs and 80 ribbies.
Yep, and then you got on top of that, you got Garcia in right field. You got Nathan Lowe at first base. Josh Smith, who's not hitting that much to start the year, but he's another guy that we give up in the Gallo deal, who's on their bench, a left-handed contact hitter.
Yeah. So I think the Rangers know this. I think their stadium's retractable, right? They got a retractable roof.
Yep.
Yeah, they got retractable.
So that's going to be different now. Yeah. So they'll be all right then.
Yeah, and then on top of that, they got left, right. Like they got balance in their lineup, and the thing is, they're hitting for average. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're number one in the MLB in batting average right now.
I think that's right.
Wow.
Right.
Like then you got Tavares at center field hitting 298 as a switch hitter, and he's their number 9 hitter.
So the Yankees are behind. The Yankees are behind a lot of other teams. They
Yeah.
closed the gap. They passed them. I mean, it's kind of comical at this point, no? Like a lot of these teams, why is it that their process is working better than ours, and they don't spend as much money as we do?
And that's the thing that I'm looking at with Texas is that Texas has a blend of analytics and old school. The Yankees
I mean, look
don't
at their
do
manager.
They have a manager who manages by the seat of his pants. He'll actually go by his gut.
And he plays players consistently because this is another thing too that like it irritates me about Boone every single time and how he just goes in lockstep with it. Play your players every day. Stop
Every
with this.
damn day.
I'm gonna set him freaking two times a week and all this other crap. You're throwing them off a rhythm, bro.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
And in the same spot in the lineup. They know their spot in the lineup. They can get comfortable and they can keep hitting. DJ, they may have waked in the top spot in the lineup, moving him around. His batting average goes to pot.
Yeah, they keep moving players around into different spots, and then on top of that, like once they're starting to get hot, that's the moment they sit them.
Brain dead.
That is the moment they sit them every time.
Sit on it. They want them to sit and kind of ponder of how good they did, and sit on that, kid. Think about what you did. Save that energy, and we'll play you again another day.
I remember back in 2021. I remember back in 2021, right before in the first half, we were going against Minnesota, and Stanton was getting hot, bro. Like I mean, talking about he had like probably 3 home runs in like 2 games, and he was just like going on. He was going on that stretch, and then they benched him for rest.
Mm.
And then
that's
all
the
of a
Yankees
sudden,
way, bro. That's the Yankees way.
And right after that, he ended up going on this long slump for like a month.
And it's like Stanton's a creature of habit.
Yeah.
And it's like Stanton is a guy that he's gonna have his peaks and valleys, man. You can't sit him all the time. And I've always been the type that I think Stanton a lot of times he gets hurt because you can't keep him sitting all the time as a DH. You gotta play him in the outfield, have him run, give him his DH days, but like alternate it. Don't just like, okay, I'm gonna go a whole week of DHing and then all of a sudden throw him in the outfield. Like you gotta put him in and out every other day, keep his legs warm.
Yeah.
And by doing that, like he doesn't stiffen up. Like the guy's stiffening up and like you see him in the bases pulling a Hemi.
Because then relax his muscles, you have to try to give him a fire the next day. That's going to cause an injury.
Yeah, like
what do you guys to get off a little bit? Get off topic a little bit. What are you guys thinking about Volpe right now?
Answer that, Adam.
I think Volpe needs to go, even if he's in the minors for a month, just to reset mentally everything. Even with his last 2 games, he's 3 for 8, only one wild drive. One should have been an error. Yeah. I'd rather.
A lot of people are talking about bringing him down, but it's not going to happen. They're not going to do it. The Brian Cashman has such a huge ego. Like this is what fans wanted. Fans wanted Volpe to win the job. So Cashman's like, all right, cool. Because if they bring him down right now, they're gonna look. Technically, they look a little bit bad. It's gonna make them look a little bit bad. And Brian Cashman doesn't want no part of any of the media bashing him and talking. Oh, it didn't work or whatnot. So they're gonna get like how some of their quotes they're saying they're gonna keep him up. They knew going into the season that he was gonna have this type of stretch, and regardless, they wanted him to figure it out up in the bigs.
I would wait till July though.
You think they'll actually bring him back? You think they'll bring him down?
No, but if he continues to struggle, it's just going to look worse on the Yankees. If come July and he's hitting like that, let's see if he turns it around. I guess he figured stuff out with his hitting, right, with his stance. But let's say he continues to struggle. July, if he continues to hit like 187, 197, is just obvious. The obvious move is to call him down.
Yeah, I think at that point, like if you have Peraza still hitting 320, 330 as he's doing it in the minors with Pop, and then and he's still hitting under 200 by the end of July, man, the Yankees are gonna have to play Peraza. Yeah. And that's the stupid part about it because they've made the decisions to play Volpe as shortstop strictly for marketing. Mm-hmm. He's the golden boy. And my thing is, they're so into like analytics and numbers and everything. When it is clear, the analytics show you have the arm strength, you have all these tools available. He's not supposed to be the shortstop. It's Peraza. His arm is a second baseman's arm.
Yep.
I think Peraza was the main. I think Peraza was supposed to be the shortstop, but
He should have been.
Volpe did so good in spring training, and fans. You know how bad fans, everybody would have reacted if they would have sent him down and brought up Peraza. So, like how you said, that was all they did that as a marketing tactic. You know what I'm saying? They're like, listen, this is the golden boy. This is the coming of Jeter. You know, all of this nonsense. We're not. You think after that spring training we're gonna bring him down? No way. Let's see what happens. And then fans were begging for it. Fans were begging for it, and the media, everybody was talking about it. Let's let him play. Let him play. They're like, all right, cool. But once he's up there, he's up there. That's it.
I was at the point they should have just called both of them up, and then and it's tough because
Donaldson is there. Donaldson was blocking Peraza.
Johnson, I don't see him on the Yankees for that.
Well, Peraza?
No, Donaldson's gonna be DFA.
Oh, I hope so, man. I'm rooting for him.
If you think about it, I think, like, wasn't there a point in time that they even said early in the year, "Oh no, Peraza isn't an option at third base," and they just benched him. They benched him until they finally they had to kind of play him, and they said, "All right, go play third base." And
I hate the way they treat him.
And I'm like, bro, you're treating this guy like he's inept, like he doesn't have any skill when he has the best defensive ability of any infielder you got in the minors.
What was he? Our top third prospect?
Yeah, he was he was like number 2, number 3, depending on which one you're looking at. And he was the best defensive shortstop. He had the best arm in the infield. I think tied with Arias. But then if you look at him, he's a guy that when he was up here, he was starting to get comfortable finally when they started playing him more regularly at third base. And when he started getting a hit in for 3 games in a row, then he got hurt and they just benched him. They just said no more. And it's ridiculous because
it's weird. It's weird behavior.
It's so weird. And then I heard, I think it was Pete that said it. He said that a scout told him that the Yankees just don't like that he pulls the ball too much. What kind of shit is that?
Well, if he's hitting, why you say that? If he's hitting, let him.
What is it? Have we've seen Simeon. We've seen Simeon play in Toronto and come and face us in Yankee Stadium, and this guy killed us for a whole 2 series in Toronto because he was pulling the ball,
pulling the shit out of the ball,
and he was pulling it, bro. He's a straight up pull hitter. There's no home runs going to right field with Simeon. And you're telling me that that's your issue with freaking Peraza because he's not using the short porch in right field? Who gives a shit? Have the guy hit 300 with 40 doubles then? What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. Adam, what's your take on that?
One thing is keep an eye on Trey Sweeney. He should be up by the trade deadline. Yankees planning him to be the third baseman going forward. Lefty bopper, 6'5". And Donaldson will not make the trade deadline. The Yankees are getting really mad at him.
Who are they playing? Where are they playing Peraza? Aren't they playing Peraza at third?
Mostly shortstop at AAA right now.
Wait a second. Isn't Trey Sweeney in Double-A though?
Yes, and he's getting all the third base reps in Double-A, and Chaparro's getting him at AAA right now.
But the thing is with Sweeney though, he's not hitting for a ton of pop, and he's hitting 240.
He's been red hot the last couple of weeks.
Listen, Ruben, from now on, I don't want nobody calling NYY. I don't want them to call you NYY News Ruben anymore. You're going to be Numero Ruben because you got all the numbers, bro. Instead of Numero Uno, you're going to be Numero Ruben. That's going to be your new name from now on, bro. Felix, what do you think? He got all the numbers, huh? He's
man.
Gonna be it.
He has to be the accountant or something.
Shoot, I'll be this. I guess I'm the stat guy, you know.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna be Numero Ruben from now on, bro, because you got all the numerals.
He's 249, by the way. He's raking 4 homers. Only released the last couple of weeks. Trey Sweeney's got the batting average 249. He is raking right now.
Okay, so yeah. Then he's up then, but his slugging is still 380. I'm not liking the way that looks.
That needs to get higher, like 450.
Yeah,
But
but
where
in
is he?
order
Double
for
A right now?
he's in Double A, and he has a good OBP. I give him that. He's been walking the entire year. But
Yep.
the problem with him is that he's not hitting extra base hits at a high enough clip.
Yeah, 18 total extra base hits in 54 games. That needs to be a lot higher, like 35, 40.
Yeah, like right now, like if you say, let's see, 13 divided by 54 games, and if you project it over 162, 39 doubles. So it's the home runs that he's not really hitting. He only has 5 in 54 games.
That's
At
the process,
65.
bro. The process in the next 4 years, a lot of these kids are going to be up. No, I think that's
Yeah,
what Castro's process is. That's why I think they gave him that 4 year deal. Like, all right, let's see what your prospects got. And a
Yeah.
lot of them, it might work, man. It might work. But
the
at the end of the day,
the
you got to remember we're on our second wave of baby bombers right now.
yeah.
After reaching the ALCS, we're on our second wave of baby bombers. It better work because I guarantee if it doesn't work, Castro's not coming back.
Yeah.
And
Gotta be.
at that point, I would want them. Would want to see Brian Sabian kind of take the reins
Oh
from
yeah.
there because he's a prospect guy, like and he knows how to implement those prospects.
Didn't he bring us
probably-
Jeter?
He's the one that helped like pick the Jeters, the Posadas,
Get that.
Bernie Williams. Like he was there like all throughout the really bad years, and he's the one that kind of like he was one of the ones that basically said, no, these are our guys right here. These are the ones we're gonna commit
Nice.
to.
But he's getting up there in age. To be a GM, you gotta, travel a lot with the team and stuff like that. And I think by the time Cashman's contract is up, Savian's gonna be really old.
Wait, too old?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too. I
They
mean,
need some
unless
young
unless if they can
minds,
get a
man.
young guy.
Yeah, man. They need. I mean, look at the Astros. The Astros brass has some young folks in there, and the Astros are elite. They are way ahead of us right now.
But
So,
at this point, if they get a young guy, like my fear about going young is that they get one of these young guys that's like preaching the
no
same crap
experience.
with the same crap that they've been preaching for years now. The batting average doesn't matter, and that stuff
You're
annoys
right.
the crap out of me because every stat matters to an
Yep.
extent, and you still got a batting average. It still tells you, hey, you're good at hitting the ball consistently, like
Yeah.
and like that should still matter.
Yeah.
I remember Luke Voigt. He came up and he was 2018 he was a monster towards the end of the year. 2019 he was pretty solid, and then he had that really good like rookie year, what is it called, shortened season where he led the league in home runs in
Yeah.
2020. But then the moment he said batting average doesn't matter, the guy just went and became a 220 hitter, and then all of a sudden the home runs started going a little bit less, and then I'm like, that's what you get when you think about batting average doesn't matter. You're not supposed to go up there looking for the home run. You're supposed to go up
Yep.
there thinking, I need to get this hit. Let me just get a hit. I don't care if it's a double, single, or home run, but let me just get a hit. And the home runs come naturally, especially for some of these guys that we have. Like you got freaking 6'7" Judge, 6'6" Stanton. You got freaking like Jake Bowers is 6'1". They're all like
They're
feet plus.
huge.
Like these are guys that can literally just go out there and just hit. The home runs will come by
Just put the
themselves.
bat on the ball. Put the bat on the ball. Just make
5,
contact.
4. They got a lot of big guys. And
Before
Kevin
we
Long,
go on,
square the ball up like your natural power can.
let's talk
Hold
about
on.
the trade deadline before we all leave. Let's go down the list. Don Sicadio, you go first. Numero Ruben, you go second. Adam King go
Yeah.
third, and I go last. Let's talk about the trade deadline before we end this.
Okay.
Let's do this.
So okay, now we can sit here and I'll leave all the low key guys to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, and I'm gonna go with what I've been tweeting and trolling about for the longest. I want to talk. I want to talk about Juan Soto, and I understand Yankees are not gonna deplete the farm for him. I understand all of that, but let's throw the big but in there, right? Just how we've been doing every season with. But what if Correa? Or but what if so and so? I would love Juan Soto on this team. And I'm thinking whether it's going to be trade them through the trade or through free agency. I need this guy in pinstripes. Him, because right now the debate is between him and Ohtani. I don't know if Ohtani. Everybody's talking about Ohtani, but I don't think Ohtani's as a perfect fit as Juan Soto is to this team. I think Ohtani's more realistic, if we're going to be honest. But I don't see him getting traded to this team because yeah, he could pitch, but with the way these injuries happen on this team, with our luck, we trade for Ohtani and he gets hurt. Oh, he won't be able to. He won't be able to continue doing that two-way player thing. So I mean, in my opinion, right now in the deadline, if we're going to be realistic, I think they're going to go after a starter, and maybe another bat. I would love to try to go after a Giolito and maybe with a Roberts type of trade with Chicago with the White Sox. Roberts he's hitting. He could play left field. He's not a lefty bat, but it's a good bat. We need hitters. When you watch him, Roberts Jr., he has that, like how they say, he looks hitterish. We need some guys that can hit. We need some bulldogs out there. We can't, I know Cashman took his chance with all of these journeymen on there, and some of them are kind of working. But at the end of the day, when we reach the playoffs, and by the time a lot of these pitchers have seen these guys, are they going to be kind of performing the way that they are now? I don't think so. But anyway, that's my 2 cents. Obviously, I'm aiming super high. I mean, I am aiming super high right now with these two dudes. So I would love for an Ohtani or Juan Soto.
I do
for the high dudes.
Numero Ruben, you want to go?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I do think Soto is one that they would like really try to look at, just because he's a lefty and he's a guy that walks a ton, and they love that about players. That's a professional 200 hitter.
They try to trade for him.
But the thing with Soto that I do like is that he's the kind of player that is more like Judge, where he doesn't allow the hitting coaches to mess him up. So I think he would be more of a safer bet for the Yankees, because apparently our hitting coaches, break every player and make them turn into like freaking Joey Gallo. But now my one of the names that I was hearing from the MLB Network, and it was more just like a what if, because they have so many young players in their system that are like ready to come up, and it's the Cardinals, and they were thinking about like the Rosso was throwing out like, hey, what if they trade an Arenado or trade a Goldschmidt? And like my thing is, like, if we can get an Arenado, I would totally go for it. But a sneaky pickup that I would really like is Tommy Edman, because Tommy Edman is an elite defensive shortstop, second baseman, in either position. He's elite, but he's also a switch hitter, and he does not strike out a lot either.
Yeah, but our infield, we kind of have we have a lot of infielders right now, no?
Yeah,
We do. I just think like the only reason why I think Tommy Edman will be a nice fit is because no matter where you put him, he's elite defensively, and he balances out the lineup with that switch hitting.
With that switch hit, yeah, nice. Okay.
I'm looking more at the balance aspect of it. But,
yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because I do think that would look nice, but at the same time, I mean, if it was up to me, I'm really more like with you. Let's go with Soto, and then let's go ahead and DFA Donaldson. And
Damn, but that Soto deal will take it'll take so many prospects to get him that I don't think I think they'd rather wait for a free agency to do that, because I mean they did. Yeah. If the rumors are correct, they tried to trade for him and they offered a lot. I don't know if it's true or not.
They offered Volpe.
Yes, they did.
Right? They offered Volpe. They tried to trade for him.
Yeah, it's just that the Nationals didn't like the our prospect package versus the ones from San Diego. Because let me tell you, they gave up Wood, the outfielder. He's like a 6'7" outfielder, and he's a left-handed bat. That dude is a monster.
And now, if we were to trade with the Padres, we got the usual suspects, Peraza and all of these guys. Like, do the Padres have a need for the prospects that we have right now?
Yes, there's a few they do, like Chaparro. They're weak at third base. They have that Korean guy playing third base right now. They moved Mikado to shortstop. what's his name? The kid that came from Korea, Kim,
I don't know his name, but
Yeah,
I know who you're
Kim.
talking about.
and they need outfielders bad. They have
Yeah,
Soto and Holt.
they need outfielders for sure. They only have one outfielder in the top 5 in prospects right now.
You get Everton Pereira or Elijah Dunham at them, it's going to catch their attention.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Um,
and the outfielder that's in right now currently ranking as their number 4 prospect, he's far away. Like he's not even close.
They're also very weak at first base, so you throw Tyler Hardman at them, that'll grab their attention quick.
okay. Adam, what about you? What do you think? What are some sneaky picks or some obvious picks that you would like the Yankees to go for this deadline?
First, with Soto, I don't think the Yankees really go after him because they have Jones and Dominguez about to take over the outfield. So I think
Okay.
that'll sway them away. Well, with Otani, they're going to go after him, but I have the feeling Dodgers are going to get him. I have a feeling that's a lock.
Oh yeah,
Dod-
especially with the way that the Dodgers have been holding back on money.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Now, the
Oh, yeah.
name that I think the Yankees will go after, and Jack Curry even mentioned this one, is Cody Bellinger. He'd come very cheap,
Oh yeah.
Oh
and
yeah,
he's actually having a very good year this year, and he could miss the ball to right field and still put it in the second deck.
I forgot
Before the
about
Cubs
Bellinger.
picked him up, man, I was tweeting about that. I wanted the Yankees to go after him, but nobody
Yankees
listens to me.
the Yankees were talking to him, but were not willing to go to the $10 million the Cubs gave him, or $12 million, whatever it was.
They should have.
So I think the Yankees could go grab him and maybe get the Cubs to take a Donaldson or another, maybe IKF get a back contract off at the same time.
I will say
Okay.
this: Felix was on the Bellinger train, and at first I was like, no Bellinger. But then when I started looking into his launch angles and like his strikeout rate, and I realized that he just was popping up the ball more, and he was lifting the ball more, and it caused his strikeout rate to get out of whack. But his launch angle right
Yeah.
now is back into a lower launch angle, back to his
Yep.
MVP form,
He's
and he's making more
271.
contact again.
He's batted 271, 493 slugging. He's missed a lot of home runs because our right field corner in Wrigley is just not good for lefties. What is that,
Yankee Stadium, he would go ape. He would
Oh,
go
yeah.
ape in Yankee Stadium.
And he's elite defensively, elite.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can put him in center field and just ignore it. Just be fine.
He could be left, center, doesn't matter. He'll play a Gold Glove caliber.
And he would be pretty cheap. The Cubs would probably ask for Elijah Dunham and a shortstop prospect, given that kid from the guy from the Braves and Dunham, and call it a day.
Yeah, now that you mentioned that, you know what? Forget Soto. We'll get him in free agency. We can go ahead and get Bellinger. Get Bellinger.
So keep an eye on Cody
Yeah.
Bellinger. The Yankees going to try for him.
Okay, that makes sense, and it makes sense for the team. It makes sense for the game. I mean, you put him in that lineup right now with the protection with Judge in them. I mean, but my question is, would we need one more bat along with let's say a Cody Bellinger?
Yeah. And you're not getting Ian Happ. He got extended. He's not going anywhere.
No,
You
As
might
of
be able
right
to try
now,
Trace Sweeney away. I don't know where you'd put him, but maybe you could probably trace Sweeney away from the Cubs as well.
yeah.
For
I mean,
who, though?
well, as part of the package for Bellinger, you mean, right?
Yeah.
For Bellinger.
Try to get
Okay.
both. I don't know where you'd put Trace Sweeney. Maybe DH him. I don't know. Maybe put him at first base some. I don't know.
Another option could be you get Bellinger, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe go into Cincinnati and get Farley.
That's interesting.
And then you got the left fielder in Farley, you got the center fielder in Bellinger. And I know that we got Bader and everything. I love Bader's energy, but Bader seems to not always stay healthy. So
Yeah,
I think having a much more deeper outfield like that would be helpful.
Fraley
so
backs
that
left-handed as well, so he'd be a great fit.
Yeah, because there'll be two lefties, so it balances out the lineup more. And then now we got our backup first baseman in Bellinger as well.
Yep.
What about pitching? Like the starting rotation or bullpen arm?
I focus more on the bullpen and for the closer role. I'm good on the starting pitching as long as Severino can correct his issues.
Rodon will be a big addition as well. He'll be back.
Oh yeah, he's almost back, no?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he's
he's
on rehab. You only need 2 rehab starts. You can bring him back for the third because he'll be after 5 innings. You can give him that one in the MLB.
Yep.
What about for
So
a closer? What do you guys think for a closer?
That one's a hard one. And there's not very many available though. I don't know any closers available in trade right now.
Yeah, maybe Bednard. if the Pirates, tend to, have a second half swoon, you know what I mean?
They're leading the division right now, and I'd say Corbin Burns from the Brewers we want to keep an eye on, but they're half game out of their division, so chalk that one off.
I love Corbin Burns on this team, man.
Another guy, and this one's gonna be hard to get, is Diaz from Cincinnati.
Oh yeah,
Alexis Diaz.
Very hard to get. They love him.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they see what his brother's doing. They're like, man, these kids right here, these Puerto Rican stars. At least we got some Puerto Ricans out there. We don't have Dominican Republic's taking over with the league.
The Yankees saying, "Where's the mofongo at?"
You could bench the Red Sox and send him Kenley Jansen. I doubt it. He'd be about the only closer available.
Nah,
I don't believe Jansen right now. I don't believe this is him. I don't know. I don't know if I believe this is him.
Yeah,
he's been very like he's been an okay closer.
Maybe Paul Sewald of the Mariners.
Who?
Oh, you think he'll be available?
Mariners are way out of it already. They're fourth in the division, get 12 games out.
Who is it you said?
Sewald.
Paul Sewald of the Mariners.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's 12 of 13 on saves, 2.63 ERA.
But you think they're going to trade him? I mean, well, they are. You said they're a little out of it. Okay.
Yeah, they're 12 games out already in fourth place. So
isn't his K rate like 14 per 9 or something like that?
Something like that.
Like he has like a ridiculous strikeout rate. Like he doesn't get a lot of hits.
Yeah, it's 10.0 right now. He's K'd, 27, is it? Let's see. 38 9 walks. So and only get up 2 home runs all year as well.
12 and a half strikeouts per 9.
It's not bad.
He's just dominant. So he might be one to keep an eye on. A whip under 1, which is great.
And what I like about him too is that he only has 9 walks in 27 innings. That's not bad.
Not at all.
Damn, that's not bad at all.
Maybe they should try to target Paul Sewald.
Maybe, right? But with our luck, Cashman doesn't do nothing. He doesn't do anything.
I mean, personally, I think they really aren't gonna do anything just because I don't see Hal giving the okay to go over the luxury tax for some.
He said that he's willing to do it. You think that's a front?
He flat out said he's willing to add up to $30 million at the trade deadline. I think he's lying. It's more like $15 million, but still. Remember, they're 57 right now.
I don't think he's lying. I think that he'll do it, but I just don't see Cashman successfully doing it.
Yeah.
I think he can get Bellinger because they trade the Cubs all the time. They trade Mariners all the time to chance at Sewald. Pay attention to who he trades with all the time.
I mean, they did end up giving Wesneski to the Cubs, so I mean, I can see them, going for Bellinger.
Listen, we got a few hits from the White Sox a few years back with Canley and the Todd father. No, I mean, who knows? We could probably get ourselves a Giolito or something. I wouldn't mind having him.
They have Kendall Gray, their closer. He's got a 2.76 ERA, an 8.0 K ratio, 26 Ks to 13 walks, 0.95 whip. So yeah, they've got an okay closer if they want to go after Kendall Graveman.
Yeah, the White Sox is interesting. It's just my only thing with the White Sox right now is that I'm really curious as to why such a talented team isn't rolling right now. Like, is it
management maybe, right? The coaches and whatnot. I mean,
a little odd.
The whole Major League Baseball, all these records are weird. I think it's because of the pitch clock, the new rules and stuff like that.
I think it's affected a lot of players. Like, I think
look at Manoah. Manoah's all out of whack.
No, Manoah's just gordo, bro. Like, he gained weight.
I love Manoah, bro. I know everybody hates him.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys think Major League Baseball is more entertaining this season?
No, not at all.
I'm fine with
I don't find it more entertaining. Like, I don't.
Listen, they want to make it entertainment. They need to bring the sticky stuff back, and they need to bring juice balls back. Flat out.
SOC. Bro, I've been in the thought process of like I don't mind the time clock just because honestly I can't stand when they're like taking 5 minutes per pitch.
There's
like that.
A rule for that though. The umpire could always bark at him and award a pitch, a ball or a strike. They always had that ability. The pitch clock didn't change that. They just never did it.
The pitch clock that they would take the runner at second base during extra innings off.
Yeah. what I wish that they would do is get rid of the extra base runner and the extra innings, and then but I do like the pitch clock. I have no problem with the pitch clock, but I do kind of get tired of how all the balls seem to be not the same. So some games like the ball flies more than others, and it's not even the temperature. Because you look at the temperature of outside, it's like the same as the day before, but all of a sudden the ball isn't traveling.
There's 3 different balls to play right now. There has to be dead balls, regular balls, and live balls all at play.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous. Like it should be one freaking ball.
Mark my word, the Rays are swinging at live balls every game. Mark my words. Rays, Orioles, there's teams that are only swinging at live ball.
The Rays got something weird going on over there. Their home record is crazy different than their road record.
No, but they're still good. They're still good on the road, and they have a good record versus winning teams. They're like 28-14 versus good teams.
Yeah, but their record at home compared to the road is huge.
They're 5 games under 500 against good teams above 500 on the road. Way above 500 at home. That's a little weird.
Something weird's going on over there.
But I will say this with the Rays, though. These aren't the same Rays from 2019, 2020 that people
can look at.
They're the same players that barely scored 3 runs a game last year.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is that like these are guys that they already like. For example, Brandon Lau is having a down year this year, but he was a guy that just popped like almost 40 home runs like 2 years ago in 2021. Then you got Randy Arozarena in left field. And you guys know what he likes to do when the lights are bright. So then you got the center fielder now in Lau or Lowe, whatever the last name is. Nathan Lowe's brother.
Lowe?
Yeah, no, Lau's the second baseman.
It's Lowe. It's Lowe, no?
Yeah, it's Lowe because it's Nathan's brother from Texas.
Yeah.
So Lowe in center field. He was a guy that was rumored to like be like this guy that could be a star, and he struggled last year, but he's adjusted now, and he was a big time hitter in the minor leagues in AAA. They thought he was going to be huge last year.
That doesn't explain the Rays going from 3.4 runs a game last year to 6.5 this year. That's too big a jump.
It's too much.
But
with your experience facing cheaters,
look at
the Red Sox.
But then you got Wander Franco now, healthy. So he's playing the entire year now. And then you got Diaz, Yandy Diaz, who if you don't I think they got him back, what is it, 2019, I think it was, right? That's when they initially got him.
Yeah.
When they initially got him that year, he started lifting the ball that specific year, and he had like 14 home runs and like a little bit under 100 games, right? And that was always the thing with Yandy, is that he's not lifting the ball. And so now this year, since the Rays finally threw out a little extension towards him, he said, fine, I'll start lifting the ball a little bit, because his whole thing was that I didn't want to lift the ball because I don't want to like start losing my contact rate.
Yeah.
So now he's actually lifting the ball and still maintaining his K rate. So, and he's always been a guy with like big old biceps. Like they always said that this guy hits the ball like Stanton, but on the ground. So now he's lifting that ball. So now he's actually being that big home run bat that he should have always been. Now that he's actually allowing himself to lift the ball, because he's always been
dipping. The batting average should dip if he's becoming a home run bat.
Yeah, but
Yankees need to make some moves. They got to make some moves to kind of keep up with these guys, because right now at this point.
Before we go, because I haven't answered what I'll do in the trade deadline, because we have over more than an hour now. So I'm going to go. Go ahead, I think the Yankees need to get 2 more bats and a relief pitcher. Like you guys were saying, Hal Steinbrenner came out recently, said he was open to taking on more salary. And that's what I think the Yankees are going to do. They can't get Cody Bellinger, which is my prime player they go and get bat-wise. Because let's face it, Joey Gallo was trash with the Yankees, but he was always a home run threat. Yep. And he would just throw off the opposing pitchers. And Judge, Stanton, etc., all these other batters in the Yankees lineup get better looks. So I would add, if the Yankees don't add Cody Bellinger, I would take a good look at Nolan Arenado. I would see if the Angels are in contention during that time. and so on and so on. But yeah, I would add 2 bats. I don't know what the second bat is going to be, but my type of players are, tall guys that scare the opposing batters that can get on base, get hits, hit for power. And then
Solid
for the relief
bats.
pitcher, for the relief pitchers, I'll take a good look at what the Chicago White Sox have. And you never know, the Mets might be sellers by the time the trade deadline hits. So
The Mets.
that's my
Bro, can you imagine that Ronaldo and Bellinger? Oof.
Possible.
Felix, weren't you a few years back on that Arenado train?
yeah, I was really one of the first ones to
I remember that. Yeah,
do that.
yeah. You were
I,
when he
I
was with
had
the
like
Rockies.
over
Yeah?
like close to 20 videos on Nolan Arenado.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
And he's a high contact guy too. He doesn't strike
I
out a
love
lot either.
Arenado.
He's
looks
got a
like
little
he
batting
really
average this year. He's been struggling, but yeah.
Yeah. He's been heating up though.
Only
when the
32.
team struggles, they're gonna when the team like St. Louis, the way they're struggling, I mean, it's gonna spread out to everyone. Maybe but he doesn't seem like he likes the attention. He's always so low key.
Yeah,
So,
Arenado right now, he's hitting 283. So
yeah, wow.
And
Yeah.
St. Louis is a pitcher's park as well. You put him in Yankee Stadium, their stats will get better.
Oh
yeah,
my
he's
God,
hitting 283, 331 on base. So he's walking a smidge less this year.
Yeah.
And his doubles are way down. Like his home runs are good, but his doubles are way down. Right now he's on pace for 23 doubles and 31 home runs.
He's usually on 38 to 45 doubles, so yeah, he's way down.
Yeah, like
everybody,
usually
we gotta. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was gonna say everybody got to kind of pay attention right now to like how they were saying before. Pay attention to all these other teams right now. See how they're the teams that are slumping right now, and kind of keep an eye on the teams that might downward on the getting closer to the deadline, and to see who can maybe be an option for this team. Because right now this team needs help. I still have a little bit of confidence in this team. I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna roll with that this year, and kind of still have some faith in them. But overall, let's kind of see what happens as we wrap this up, and hopefully, Hal Steinbrenner he puts his money where his mouth is, and he kind of because he's been talking the talk this year. He's been saying everything right. Let's see if he could back it up, because like how we were saying before, I think them boos got to him. I think it really got to him, and we might see some changes, especially since we have Minaya and Sibian. Maybe we could get some good trades going this deadline. Maybe that's why they're saving Peraza or what I'm saying. Let's see what they can do. But before we wrap this up, I want everybody to give shout out. Give everybody your Twitter handles. Tell everybody where they can find you, where they can see your stuff. And Adam, give everybody your Twitter handles. See if they can hit you up.
Mine is at the King Source, and I post lots of stuff. I put videos up recently because I'm working through a few things, but including recovering from oral surgery. I had 2 root canals and a bridge put in, so I've got to wait for that to fully heal up. And that's a week old only, and I've got to wait another week for that's fully healed. So,
if you're a female listening to this, Adam King is looking for a new wife, so hit him up.
Yeah. Numero Ruben, hit him up, bro. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me at Cruz Yankee Fan on Twitter, and I haven't posted in a while, but NYYNEWS Ruben is my channel. I haven't really posted in a while. I tend to do it more on Felix's channel now on NYY.
It's gonna be the next. That's where we gotta hit the next video at, bro. We gotta link up again. This is gonna be the first of many that we're gonna hit up. So
let's do it.
Felix, hit him up. Everybody knows you already, but go ahead.
Yeah. _ at NYY News, Twitter NYY Insider, Instagram NYY Insider. For some reason, some troll or something, took down our Facebook, so now we're Facebook list. I put a new one up, but you guys know where to find me. Everything at NYY News.
The OG.
Right. The OG, la mente maestra. Listen, for everybody listening, I've been saying this for a while, but follow me on TikTok, Don Yankee 1. On Twitter, Don Sicario 1. Hit up the YouTube channel. You guys are obviously listening right now, but subscribe, leave a comment. Remember, no matter how bogus your opinion is, always tell it, because without us, these teams are nothing. It's a Mickey Mouse ball club like during the COVID time. Leave your opinion, subscribe, like. We matter. Remember, folks, we matter. And go on Twitter at NYY News. Hit up the shop. We got a lot of merch. We got a lot of stuff coming up. So, but at the end of the day, remember, folks, hold it down.